Day one and all. This is Dr. Latha representing SRM Valiame Engineering College, Department of Management Studies. I'm very happy to share a few concepts on strategic management. Strategic management is a very important subject with reference to the management side in order to reap the success in the market. As we all know, the days are gone. Day by day, second by second, we are facing very tight competition and stiff competition all over the world. All the countries, all the organizations, irrespective of whatever their nature of business, are trying very hard to stay in the market. Even reputed organizations are finding it very difficult. Hence, doing business in an ordinary manner will not work. It has to move on to another level, and there is a tough competition which the organizations should be ready to implement extraordinary, unique measures in order to make their business more viable in the market. So this is what the essence of strategic management. So when we talk about a strategy, it is actually the terminology that got evolved from defense. So usually when we talk about the defense, the word strategy becomes very important with reference to the generalship. And military services are usually, in order to make their operations much more viable, much more successful, they try to apply strategies. So when we want to understand the military language, everything will be represented in the name of code, which is very hard for us to understand. But it becomes very essential in order to win over the war. So that is actually the implication of a business where the world, business world or a business environment is also like a battlefield which has to be played with many players, and strategies become very important. So when we talk about a strategy, it actually gives a direction to the business. And in a business organization, there are so many concepts which you will come across, such as vision, mission, objectives. So vision is a long-term goal achievement where a business field tries to focus on. So any organization, when we ask them, what is your business plan or what is your vision? So they will have a long-term duration which tries to fulfill their visionary process. In order to achieve a visionary growth, an organization need to frame the mission, that is the main purpose, which has to be derived out of the business. And several long-term and short-term objectives need to be formulated. So all these things, vision, mission, objectives, need to be coated with strategy. So that is how the strategy is playing a great role. So when you are thinking about a successful approach, you may talk about the vision, you may talk about mission, but all these need to be mesmerized with strategies. So strategy is referring to the organizational or management process where the allocation of resources, utilization of resources are being done in such a manner where they try to prove that their business is unique and it tries to serve the market in a better perspective. So that is actually what is meant by strategy. I hope you understand now the concept of strategy. So, strategy tries to build up a synergy between the objectives, the resources which are being provided by the organization, and try to maximize the success rate and bring about the best outcome for the organization. So, there are many organizations, but we come across with few organizations which are really successful in the field. So, what is making them successful? So, that is actually the strategy which is complementing towards their success. So, I think I have made it clear on what do you mean by a strategy, and there are many definitions that try to make you to understand what a strategy means. So, it is planning, it is giving direction to the organization, it talks about the plan of action, it talks about the policies, it talks about the procedures. It all these put together need to be aligned properly with the long-term goal of an organization and how the resources need to be used. So it tries to discuss about the basic mission for which the company got established. So all these are the various definitions which has been shared by various authors, trying to make you to understand what basically a strategy is meant for. So this is one important case which I am interested to share it with you. And all of you are aware of this particular car, which is very familiar, and it has started penetrating into the market. It had taken a deep dive. So there are so many competitors in the auto sector, and Tesla was able to capture the market. How is it possible? Actually, the Elon Musk, who is the actual CEO of this particular company, he has played a strategical game when so many companies are trying to introduce so many models with respect to the auto sector. Tesla was able to conquer the market. How is it possible? It is just with strategy. So he has used his branding technique. So Elon Musk has portrayed himself as a brand, and he has introduced this car where he brought in a differentiation process. So instead of introducing the normal product models, he focused on giving a new model, which is very much attractive with respect to the sports side. And above all, he focused on the energy conservation and the pollution, which was actually a social problem. So he introduced the EV vehicle. So these are some of the things which he studied in the market. And he has applied all those, the feasibility analysis in his model. And he introduced creating a grand promotion to his product. That is how the product became very familiar and it entered into the market. So the main important strategies which helped Tesla company to grow to a greater height is one, innovation. He was able to bring in an innovative model to his product. Next is in pricing strategy. He did not go for a penetration pricing, but he adopted skimming pricing strategy, where he gave the first model for a high pricing, and then he felt that once when this model gets clicked in the market, slowly he is in a process of introducing the other models which may be affordable for other social class people. So this is how, so pricing also, he first focused on the most valuable high premium model, which is going to give him a good profit. So once getting the profit from those models, he wants to focus on other small car segments. So this is how, so the different way of thinking, and branding is another important strategy which he has adopted. He did not advertise his product in an ordinary fashion, but he went on to an extraordinary fashion where he started addressing the media as a CEO of the company. So he became very familiar prior to the introduction of his product. So that is how he was able to create a branding for himself And soon he became the icon for the Tesla. So this is how the particular car became more applicable to the market, and the market came behind the model that has been introduced by the company. So now I think you have understood just by reading this particular case. I think you are aware of it. You have understood how best or how impactful a strategy works. So, when a strategy is getting applied and when it is being introduced, it tries to have a deep penetration and tries to help a particular business organization to have a strong impact on the market, and it will be the effect of such kind of a strategy will be felt for a longer time. So these are the important some of the important points that you have to know about a strategy. It helps you to allocate the resources in an optimized manner, helps an individual to make the right decision in the right time, and it tries to promote the product very strongly to the market so that there are more chances for you to come out with a success. And when we talk about the different levels of strategy, you have three important levels as we try to map with the levels of management. So commonly you would have studied about the levels of management as top, middle, and lower. So as far as these three important levels are considered, so what strategical management clearly emphasizes is that all the levels of an organization, all the levels of management tries to have the strategy in their level, and they will try to apply in order to make the particular process more successful. So, and of course, the top management plays a very stronger role with reference to giving an approval for any strategy that need to be implemented. And the corporate level strategies, that is with reference to developing a business, expanding a business, all these are usually in the hands of the top level or corporate level, where the strategies that are getting evolved from the top level, we call it as corporate strategy. So when we talk about this corporate strategy, it guides an organization to maximize the performance levels and the efforts of, for example, it may be a mergers, acquisitions, takeovers, licensing, joint ventures. All these are the major decisions that will happen in the corporate level of an organization. So at the corporate level management, they will decide that we can go for a joint venture, or we can go for a takeover, or we can have an alliance. For example, the Nokia had lost its business completely. And what happened is in the year 2011, they joined their hands with Microsoft, and it was an alliance in which Nokia agreed to produce smartphones with the Windows operating system provided by the Microsoft. So Microsoft was able to access the market of one of the largest cell phone manufacturers. So Nokia was able to retain its market share with the help of this merger. So this is what we call as mergers. So such kind of mergers or acquisitions or takeovers, all these are the major decisions where there is a high involvement of top management. So it is called as the corporate level strategies. The next important thing is we talk about the business strategy, which tries to satisfy the basic need of customers. So, what for what purpose the business organization got established? What is the basic purpose, and how this purpose has to be served? So that is the level of focus with reference to the business strategy. So when we talk about a business strategy, it tries to focus on satisfying or delighting the need of the customers of different segments by providing a value to the product which is being bought by them. So any customer, uh, he may always expect a value for the price which is being paid by him. So when he is paying the price, And when he is delivering the product, and the seller or the buyer, both of them should be happy with their relationship, and they have to get satisfied with the product, and they should feel that it is valuable for them to uh, pay an amount that is going to satisfy the customer's demands. So there may be, for example, Domino's Pizza owes its success to the turnaround strategy. So that is turnaround strategy is they had brought in different types of measures into their business process, and they were able to acquire the business market to a large level. So this is how. So the turnaround strategy helped them to expand the business in a viable manner, and they had a good line of customers, and they were able to clearly win over against their competitors in taste test. And next, the level is what we call as functional level, where the basic functional strategies need to be more strong enough to break the competition. So it may be manufacturing or marketing or finance, HR, R&D. So whatever the functional areas that are available with an organization, all these strategies need to be planned properly so that the functional part also becomes uh, achievable and tries to contribute towards the success of an organization. So these are the three important levels. I think it is clear enough. Corporate, business, function. So when you talk about these three important levels, you try to understand the role of the management in trying to implement the various strategies at various levels. Now, you may have a clarification. What is strategy? What is policy? Both are similar or both are different. It is actually, if you see the difference with reference to a strategy and policy, it is only a simple line of difference where a strategy provides a direction for an organization, whereas a policy actually gives guidelines. So it is clear, giving a direction and providing guidelines how to. So you are shown a path, but how to travel in this particular path, what are the steps to be taken. So all those steps are given in the policy document. So this is how the strategy is differentiated from the policy. So these are some of the differences that helps you to understand what actually the strategy means and what do you understand about the policy. And this is a small diagrammatic representation where you will try to understand the essence of strategic management and how it is getting correlated with reference to the organizational style. So when we talk about a strategic management, it is a systematic approach. So a systematic approach where you try to consider the vision, mission, and objectives. So based on this, all these vision, mission, and objectives need to get aligned in order to formulate a strategy. Clear? So when you try to So when you try to think about the vision, mission, values, and objectives, all these need to get aligned, and you have to consider all these parts while you formulate a strategy. Then you have to see the viability of implementing the strategy. And when you start implementing the strategy, On a regular intervals, you have to evaluate whether the strategy is moving in the right direction, whether the strategy is trying to bring out the outcomes that you expect out of it. So this is how the strategical management process gets initiated in any organization. And this is a model that has been framed. It's a conceptual model that has been contributed. So when you see, you have to first try to think about the environment. Any business organization tries to work out its business model. It tries to provide a business outcome. It may be a product or service for the society. So we are part and parcel of society. So you cannot think about a business without thinking about the society. So the environment scanning becomes very important. It may be external factors, internal factors. All these factors need to be properly balanced. The difference between the external factors and internal factors is that external factors are beyond your control. We can call it as uncontrollable factors, where you have to change your business model or you have to change your strategies according to the demands of the external factors because it's macro in perspective, that is societal environment, political environment, legal environment, cultural environment, economic environment, all these industrial environment. So when we see all this, it tries to exhibit a big picture where you have to go according to the need and requirement of those factors. Whereas internal factors are controllable factors because it is within your environment, within your business organization, where it talks about your HR, your technological support, your raw material suppliers. So these are the various things which comes under you, and if there are more chances for you to change or modify anything that is according to your style. So all these, so environmental scanning will help you to understand your way of doing a business and how you are going to contribute towards the success of your business. So this framework tries to help you to understand your vision. Your mission is the reason for your business. Based on that, you try to frame objectives. You try to formulate strategies that will help you to proceed further. And all these are the various methodologies need to be adopted by you, and budgets need to be allocated by you in order to make your business more performance oriented. So when you evaluate, when the strategies are getting implemented, you will try to evaluate and you see what is the performance level, whether it got improved. If it is improved, then your strategy is working out. If it takes to the other side, then you have to check or recheck your strategy and you have to change the strategy according to the requirement. Okay, so this is environmental scanning. So there are different strategical tools which are applied in different levels. So when we go for environmental scanning, that is the scanning of environmental factors or evaluating the environmental factors, internal or external factors, there are two important tools which are being used. One we call it as SWOT or SWOC. Now it is called as SWOC. Both are same. Previously, it was known as strength, weakness, opportunity, threat. Now the word threat, T, it's an acronym. So the T got replaced by C. So challenges. So SWOT is one important strategical tool. And another tool is pestle analysis. It is also an acronym which talks about the political factor, economic factor, science, technology, environment, legal. So all these are the various, as we have already discussed, the external or macro factors that will try to contribute towards the success of your business. So the SWOT talks about the strength, weakness from your side. That is, as a business organization, you have some strong points. For example, your HR may be skilled enough, or you have a high-ended technology, a high-ended, or your plant location, or your distribution channel. So there may be different points where you enjoy the competitiveness when compared to your competitor. So that is called as your strength factor. Weakness is comparatively where you are lagging behind. So this is your strength and weakness. It is more mapped to your internal factors and trying to help you to identify your strength and weakness from your side, so that this will help you to map yourself towards the opportunities and challenges that you come across in the environment, external environment. That is the market, society. So if you are strong enough and if you are capable of exploring the opportunities that are available in the market, then you may become a star oriented business. That is, you are strong. Your strength is getting mapped to the opportunity. You are strong in a particular area. You are good in giving a particular qualitative product. And there is a great demand for that particular product in the market. So definitely you will utilize the chance. So you will explore the opportunity. You will maximize your production. You will deliver the product that is enjoying a great demand in the market. So the strength and opportunity gets mapped. And in some cases, you are strong in one particular area and there is a challenge in the environment. Sometimes your strength may help you to fight against the challenge that you come across. So this is how the strength weakness factors play a very strong role with reference to the opportunities and challenges. If you are weak and you come across a challenge, your business may become um, very weak and you may find it very difficult to sustain in the market. Pestle analysis is again when you try to have an idea of starting a new business, or you have an idea of expanding your business. You have to think about all these factors, environmental factors, and you have to see the viability of the economical side, viability of the politics, viability of your legal compliances. So all this need to be evaluated in the possible manner, and then you have to get convinced for you to go ahead with the business. So all this will try to give you an assurance of formulating a realistic strategy that will help you to achieve competitiveness in the market. So becoming or achieving the competitiveness is actually the objective for which you are working for. Any business organizations will have a pride in telling competitively I am strong. My product is superior in the market. There is a demand for my product. So all business people, all business owners will try to achieve such kind of a status in the market. So the competitive advantage may be the target. So strategies are usually formulated in order to achieve such kind of a competitive advantage. So minimizing the factor of lowering their status in the market. So when such kind of strategies are being implemented and it tries to bring you the actual outcomes, then strategically you are strong and strategically you have win over the game. So this is what we discussed about strategic management. So when we try to formulate a strategy, these are the various steps that you have to think about. First, try to understand what is your industry. If you belong to an education industry, imparting education is your basic purpose. So accordingly, your way of values, strategies will be formulated. So first have a thorough understanding on vision, mission, values, what is your business value which you want to promote in the market. So all this will help you to evaluate yourself and try to formulate a particular strategy that helps you to come out with a successful outcome. So mission, vision, values. So why we exist. So mission strongly gives you an indication that this is the purpose for which you are into the business. And the nature of your business is for this particular mission. So, what is the actual um, process for which the particular organization got initiated? Next is to what level this particular business organization need to move forward. So that is vision. So what we want to be, why we exist. So what is the basic purpose for which my business organization got established? And second one is where I'm going to move. So what will be my status in future? And what are the values I'm going to impart to the society? So these three will become a strong base points, or you can call it as a foundation for you to formulate a strategy. And that strategy will help you to move towards the success rate of your business. So analysis of environment, already we have discussed about environmental scanning, your strength and weakness aspects. So all this will help you to formulate a strategy which becomes your game plan. So when we use the word game plan, it actually clearly implies to you that you want to win the game and not lose the game. So strategy map translates the strategy into action. This is how the strategies are formulated for by any business organization in order to make their business much more successful. So these are the various steps. Each and everything has been explained in detail. Mission, vision, all those statements. So whenever you have an chance of visiting any organization, all organizations will have a beautiful displays about the vision, mission, objectives. So you try to read all those statements. So when you read all those statements, if you will try to understand the value of the business which they are engaged with. So the stakeholders of a business are very important for any organization. So when we talk about the stakeholders, they are directly or indirectly involved with the organization's growth. So the employer, employee, customers, suppliers, investors, creditors, government agencies, communities, society. So all these are the stakeholders who are directly or indirectly giving a great support stake to your business and who actually um, helps your business uh, to move on in the market. So when we are doing a business, you should be in a position to satisfy uh, the needs of your business for the stakeholders who are involved. So you have to be a good employer. As an employer, you should get satisfied with the profit from the business. Then, as an employer, you should be able to satisfy your employees by providing them with good wages, incentives, bonus, monetary and non-monetary benefits. Then next is you should be in a position to satisfy your customers by providing a qualitative product or service where they feel that they have paid a good pricing that is helpful for them. And they have bought a product that is serving the purpose for which the product is meant for. And as investors, they may be your shareholders, there may be your debenture holders, there may be your creditors. But what will they expect? They will expect the returns for the money that has been invested in your company. So only when a company or when a business organization is profitable, they will be in a position to pay or share the profit to the investors of their company. So they can pay them more dividends, they can pay more percentage of interest, and this is how they will be in a position to satisfy the investors. So these are and government agencies, of course. So all these are the various people who have the direct or indirect impact for your business are called as stakeholders. So when you try to formulate a strategy, you have to see the interest of all these stakeholders are safeguarded. So they are depending on your organization and they are seeing that your organization is doing good in the market and they are helping in one way or the other. And in returns, they will expect the benefits for their side. So this is how the stakeholders play a very. So in addition to this, you should be aware of a strategic business unit. Strategic business units are small independent divisions where they have a link towards the main business unit and they are often observed among the global level of business people. And when we talk about these strategic business units, they try to help the business people to categorize into different levels of business depending upon their growth. So when you are talking about strategic business unit, to what extent it tries to promote your product. So they may focus on a specific product. They may have a good marketing plan to promote your product, or they may target a specific market segment that will help the product to deeply penetrate. So this is what, but these are the characteristics which talks about the strategic business units. And when we talk about the strategic business unit, this is one important strategical model which you should be aware of. It's a strategical tool. This is called as BCG matrix. Actually, it is called as a BCG matrix, where it talks about the types of strategic business units. BCG matrix, it is basically Boston Consulting Group. So it's a familiar, worldwide recognized consultancy group where they will be given the real-time problems the industries will approach, and the industries will ask them to recommend a strategy that will help the business to be promoted in the market. So one important strategical tool contributed by BCG group is this BCG matrix, Boston Consulting Group matrix, which talks about the strategical business units, where it takes into two important uh, dimensions or characteristics such as market growth and market share. So low market growth, high market growth, low market share, high market share. So based on the compilation of the market growth and market share, when a particular business enjoys high growth, market growth, and high market share, such kind of a business you call it as a star oriented business where there is a need for more investment, monetary investment. They demand for a high monetary investment and constant cash flow to maintain the strategic business unit structure. And a cash cow is where it enjoys, that is, a cash cow is, it is generating maximum cash and revenue. So some business models will have uh, the way of giving revenue to the business. So such kind of business will be considered as cash cow. And question mark is they are the experts define question marks when the strategic business unit is having low market share but the potentiality for high market growth. So if they are focused on certain areas, and for example, if they have a lack of funds, and if any venture capitalist is interested to finance them, there are chances for the question mark either to get converted into a star, or there is again an equal probability chances for a question mark business to get to move on to the dog. So dog is one where market share is diminishing and equally market growth is also coming down. And it is very difficult for them to survive in the market. So it is usually advised for them to go for a wind up. So they have to close such kind of business. So such kind of business units, we call it as dog oriented business. So this is These are the four important types strategic business units, which will help you to identify the position of your business in the market. I think I'm clear, or you have any doubts? Uh, there are more clarifications will be available, which you can make use of it. And next, this is a corporate governance and social responsibility is another important area where each and every business organization need to focus for. So the business organizations are a part of a society. So their level of governance, their level of leadership should always be accountable to the society where they are doing their business. So social responsibility is very important. When we talk about social responsibility, it implies all the necessary things. So as a corporate governance, the way of doing business should always be promoting the social welfare. So there are different avenues where the corporate governance shows its responsibility towards the society, building up a strong economy, doing an ethical business, promoting the ethical awareness, trying to uh, provide environment friendly products, or otherwise we can call as eco friendly products. So these are the various methodologies that is being used by the corporate governance to show or exhibit their level of social responsibility. So these are some of the things which tries to talk about the social responsibility. So when we talk about the corporate governance, you should be aware of the interest or impact created by the board of directors, how the board of directors play a very strong role with reference to the corporate level strategy, overall direction given to the company, how the mission and vision are formulated, how the stakeholders' interests are safeguarded. So, all these important responsibilities are in the hands of the board of directors. So, the corporate governance and social responsibility relationship should be very much mutual, and they should have a cordial relationship so that the society also gets benefit. So, with this, I think I have made clear what is meant by strategic management. And thanks for this opportunity.